Alfred Nardo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise and take a call, Mr. Speaker. I can remember that there was a time I was at a conference and the speaker after the dinner was Gary McCormick. And he was talking about telling a story that Gary McCormick and Sam Hunt were going on a road trip because as young boys, they did this road trip when they were young. They surfed from the top of the North Island down to the bottom of the South. But he was telling a story that as they did this current road trip as older men, he said they found a conspiracy. And what it was, he said that every town that they went down to and they went through, there was a roundabout in that town. And they couldn't believe it. They'd substituted traffic lights for roundabouts. Halfway as it got down to Wellington, they said there's a conspiracy. The government of the day is trying to create a conspiracy. They're creating these roundabouts, so rather than sort of getting through a town as quick as you could to the place you wanted to be, you create a roundabout, people just go round and round and round. And that was the time he said to us there at that conference, it's about time the government of that day renamed themselves as the Pull Yourself Together Party. And that's what he said. He said is these guys are going to pull themselves together. They're going to stop sort of going round and round. They're going to make some decisions, take away the roundabouts, get into the traffic lights. Mr. Speaker, I hasten to say that that conference was in 2006. That was in 2006. The government of the day that they were speaking about was the Labour Party. And here we are today. The Labour Party should be actually saying, the Pull Yourself Together Party. Guy Williams has wrote that article about it, Mr. Speaker. Why? Because at the moment, they just keep going round and round, inability to be able to make decisions that are really important. Mr. Speaker, I'll take an example of one of those decisions. So I'm actually live on the Labour website, and the big thing that they're talking about is the big Kiwi dream, Mr. Speaker. So here's what they're talking about. In the big Kiwi dream, on the website, it's live, and here it is. We call the Kiwi dream. It's a home to call our own, opportunities for everyone's kids to succeed no matter where they live. Security and freedom to make our own choices, pride in our independence. Now, Mr. Speaker, if you take those words, I also too want to ask and challenge those words to the Labour Party, that when the partnership, the coalition with the ACT Party around partnership schools happened, and in South Auckland, let's take Rise Up for instance, and what they talked about was this. They wanted the best for their children. That's what your Kiwi Dream label says. They wanted the best opportunity for their children no matter where they lived. They lived in South Auckland, but they said it doesn't matter if our kids lived in Remuera or South Auckland, they should have the same opportunities. And here's the punchline. They said we want to be independent. What did the Labour Party say in its press release with Mr. Hipkins, Mr. Chris Hipkins? He said this, if the Labour Party come into power, they will do away with partnership schools. So, Mr. Speaker, you can come on your website, you can talk about the Kiwi dream, but to the very people who supposedly are the people that are your heartland, the people in whom you would seek your support, are the very people that you're saying no to your kids, no to your independence, no to the fact that you can achieve what you want by yourself. And Mr. Speaker, isn't it interesting that most of those partner school partnerships are both Māori and Pacific providers? Why? Because they're turning around and saying this, you want to talk about the dream? They want this dream. And this dream is coming as a reality, not under a Labour government, but under a national government, and I have to say, under the coalition with the ACT Party. Mr. Speaker, that's what we're doing, we're making a difference. So let's talk about some of those results for some of those Pacifica kids. Mr. Speaker, they can talk about it, but in 2008, students for Pacific, their enrollment qualifications for bachelor levels or higher was 8,940. In 2014, it's 13,300. Tertiary qualifications up 75%, 7,400 in 2000. These are not made up. These are stats that you can actually get as well. You can seek them if you do the work. 12,900 Pacifica students in tertiary qualification, Mr. Speaker. Not only that, as a tradesperson, Mr. Speaker, I believe that the investment that we've made in trades is also making a difference. Mr. Speaker, two more. I know you asked me to round up. Course completion rate, 74%. This is one I'm proud of, is the fact is that we start and we finish. We've raised up to 74%. Mr. Speaker, completion for bachelor degrees in 2008 it was 975. In 2014, it's 1,640, 68% increase. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud of the fact is that we're not just a government that talks about change, we actually do change. We're pragmatic. We actually get on with the business to doing the things that our communities want. You can talk about a dream all you like, But guess what? We're the people that makes the dream come true. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Does a much better job than Sam.
Mika Whaitiri.
Tēnā